Hey there friends, I'm Andrew from the Scrapbox, and I turn video games into Lego projects. Last week we made the Z-Team from Dispatch, now it's time to make the rest of them. Also, there will be spoilers, so if you don't like that, cry about it I guess. We're starting off with the one original member of the Z-Team that I forgot to make. This hero is the strongest, most charming, and most rotund of all the heroes. Everybody's favorite pup, Beef.
I would literally let everyone here melt in eternal hell, including you, before anything happens to this dog.
Me too, Chase. Me too. And he's being made with a combination of Chihuahua and Baby Pig. Now, every Blender project starts with a cube that must be destroyed.
You're a menace.
Now we can begin. And I have to admit, I have a lot of questions about Beef, like, why is he so round? My theory is hypothyroidism, but that's only because I can forgive all of Robert's actions.
What murder?
But not if he just let Beef get that rotund. As a fellow Beef owner, if I find out Robert neglects Beef's health,
I will obliterate his entire legacy.
Also, where was Beef in the first episode? He's here and here, but two things I know about episode 1, Robert. He has 0 friends, and he was in a coma for months. So where was Beef? Out doing rounds with the Paw Patrol? Side note, whoever did the original modeling for this Chihuahua, I'm not a vet, but I don't think you should be able to see straight through their head like that. No wonder this sculpt took so long. But our Beef is now printed and paint. Where's Beef? No, seriously, where's Beef? Oh, there he is. Don't scare me like that, Beef. Or like that. His paint job is pretty decent, considering white paint is always tricky and I suck at painting. And of course, Beef is simply the best. But of course I made a digital render and, oh wait a second. I think this might be our thumbnail right here. Also, I'm surprised you guys like the Sonar thumbnail better. We'll have to see if Beef has any competition later on.
Where's the beef?
Speaking of competition, Blonde Blazer. Not gonna lie, I haven't had the time to do a Blonde Blazer playthrough for 3 reasons. 1, I've been making these weirdos for you guys. 2, up until this precise moment right here,
What?
which is halfway through the last episode, I thought she worked for Shroud.
Are you crazy? I don't rightly know!
It made sense that at least one of these two did, and people predicted the Vizzy being there in episode 1, then defecting early on, so I thought, Shroud wants the Astral Pulse and thinks Robert has hidden it. He has Mandy recruit Robert, offer to fix his suit, try to get close to him, so when Robert produces the pulse, she can retrieve it. It would explain why she didn't want the Z-Team going after the Astral Pulse in episode 6, and that she could have leaked the info to Shroud, which is why everyone shows up to the boat. It also explains why Shroud won't fight her in episode 7. This could have just been a charade to force Robert's hand. Even in the comics, Mandy doesn't dream of being a superhero, she wants to live a normal life. So taking a shortcut to a huge payday could mean early retirement for her. But alas, sometimes people are too good and too true. But number 3, she's a bit too corporate.
What does that even mean?
But all of that considered, she's still an amazing character. And all I need now is to add shoulder armor I painted yellow, and Robin, I need your cape. What's a bit of decapitation amongst friends? You could go join Bucky from last episode. Last, I stole some hair from Luna. And Goldilocks here is looking pretty good. I give her 3 beefs out of beef. But it'd be cooler to see her in space. There we go. You can make your own purest blonde blazer using these legs from the Build a Minifigure stand, this torso, add white arms, blue hands, let's change those hips to match the torso. Once again, we steal Robin's cape. Now we could snag this Chima armor, then put a big red stud in the center. Add Stargirl's head, and finally this hair from Build a Minifigure. It's not perfect, but that's the best you're gonna get. Speaking of the best, Roid. I love everything about Roid. He exudes kindness and treats everybody like family.
Every time I walk in this place, I get sad.
He's also humongous, at around 8 feet in height. If you know this channel, you know I hate how large characters either get squashed into normal minifigure range or inflated into big figs, especially since LEGO has made mid-sized figures. So a while ago, I made my own base, which allows us to get Hagrid-sized figures without having to use tiny legs or really long, thin legs. And this is what we're working with for Roid. I gave him a matching pair of pants to Robert, but his own shirt, which has to be much larger than normal. Oh, almost forgot his glasses.
That's pretty good.
And while Roid's contagious smile is easy enough to capture, I can't print his arms, so I'm gonna have to paint them by hand. At least Moana has given us the perfect hair. I always feel bad when I have to paint because I can never dedicate enough time to properly sand and paint, since this week's video alone is over 60 hours of work already. And unfortunately, Roid's arms and torso suffer a bit for it. Still, it's not a bad look though. 2.5 beefs out of beef. If you want to make a large purist Roid though, you're gonna end up with a Roblox monstrosity. Yeah, I think I'll keep my Roid. Now that we've got Roid, I've also managed to secure the Astral Pulse, which was a fun little build for a short where I made Mecha Man's newest suit. It's as accurate as possible, it opens up,
Where's the beef?
Robert actually fits inside, and it's ready for action. It's also built in scale as his suit is a bit over 20 feet tall.
Yeah, he was huge.
Huge. Gigantic.
So big!
My only concern is it might not be the right shade of blue, given we never see it in perfect lighting. But I think it's a decent color, all things considered. People did want me to make a giant energy sword for it, and I do have one logistics complaint. You build an energy sword for 2 reasons. 1, because it looks really cool. And 2, since your suit powers the sword, as soon as you let go of it, it's supposed to deactivate so nobody can use it against you. That's the big plus to having it over a regular sword or weapon. Man, I thought Shroud was gonna chop Robert in half with his own sword.
I'm not good enough, bro. Fail you, fail everybody.
It's okay, Roid. That's not on you, that's on Robert. Now, I made this one with a new hand specifically to grip the sword, so it's impossible for Robert to lose this one, unless he loses his entire hand. I'll try to have instructions for this guy up for my amazing Patreon supporters by the end of next week. You guys are awesome. Just as awesome as this really cool energy sword.
I just kind of wanted your sword because it's pretty cool, I guess.
We're taking a break from our good guys to make Shroud, the most evil man alive.
That's it. I'm going to kill him.
This seems a bit out of order.
Don't worry about it.
You know, for an evil mastermind, he has a really lame getup. Boots, hoodie, trench coat, but he does have the whole club looking at him even without apple-bottom jeans, so respect. And the giant metal skull mask is a nice touch. Not gonna lie to you guys, for the back, I just kinda made something up because I couldn't find a shot until just now. Oh well, that would have been useful earlier. What's worse is I designed his whole face while knowing full well that I'm gonna make his mask and that bad boy is never coming off the figure. But here we are. Speaking of the mask, I started off with this hood piece and a Darth Vader mask. I usually make new things by editing pre-existing Lego pieces because I try to make everything as close to Lego and their aesthetic as possible, but sometimes it would be easier to just have sculpted the whole thing from scratch. I did get there after 2 hours of sculpting. It does have a lot more carved lines than a normal Lego piece, but that's to help with painting it. On the bright side, the 3D print came out very well, and so did the base coat. I did have to make sure the mask was in fact red, and I did end up giving him just blue dots for his eyes because I did not want to deal with Mr. Pregnancy Eye over here. For as nasty as this guy was, he sure looks clean as a Lego figure. Also, giving him both pulses was the absolute best.
They look identical, Robert.
However, I feel like Ad Hoc would have had a different ending if they were expecting to make another season. It would have been cool when you gave him the right pulse that he could see every iteration so far into the future, then he saw some inevitable terror and he ends up losing it. Would have been a great omen for things to come. Overall, Beef says -1,000 beefs, but just acknowledging the figure, that's like 4 beefs out of beef right there. For a pure Shroud, you're going to want these legs, paired with Doc Ock's torso, give him some extra shoulder armor, and now there are a ton of mechanical skull faces you could use, none in red. I guess red hood if you want to pay $60 just to take his head.
No thanks.
I'd either use this skull, or better yet, just grab Obadiah's head, and either Grimey's hood or this guy's hair. Hey, did you notice the pattern on the trench coat was kind of dirty? Weird.
I swear to God, I am going to kill him.
He must die.
I'm gonna kill him. Kill him. Kill him now.
I shouldn't.
Do it.
Kill him already!
I can't. I can't do it.
Waterboy, back to the good guys. I love Herman so much. That is my boy right there. And also, I feel so bad for him. Anyways, I was aware that people shipped Robert with these two obviously, and I knew they shipped him with Malevola even though there's no chemistry between them at all, and I definitely knew people shipped him with Flambe. But until I had to look up reference photos of Waterboy, did I find out how many people ship Robert and Herman together. I don't know what to do with this information, but now you know as well. Waterboy's outfit is pretty simple, but I did notice that his prints appeared slightly dirty, speckles appearing on the right side of dark lines. Surely my UV printer isn't still mad that I called it the worst printer in the world, and it lulled me into a false sense of security only to start acting up again.
That's probably exactly what happened.
Since he's a bit dirty, 2 beefs out of beef. Go rinse off, Waterboy. For a purist Waterboy, it's not looking pretty. I genuinely love to see if someone could make a better one without it just being the hazmat suit. Please let me know.
Everything here is so old, wet, and small and—
Chase. Now, I already made an entire short about everybody's favorite 39-year-old grandpa the other week, where I made a purist custom of him. So check that out if you want a purist form. But since now I can talk about spoilers, there were so many people who were so mad at Vizzy in episode 6 for doing the exact same thing Spider-Man does in the Ultimate's Death of Spider-Man. Let me paint you a picture. Young, cocky hero gets told by an older, certified hero that they're not good enough to be in the big leagues. Then the young hero does some incredibly dumb heroics to prove them wrong, and gets mortally wounded. However, ending 1, older hero does nothing and younger hero perishes. Everybody hates the older hero now. Ending 2, older hero makes the sacrifice play to save the young hero. Everybody hates the younger hero now. That being said, I still absolutely bawled my eyes out at the end of episode 6. Jace? Why is your sweater dirty? Oh, I hate this printer so much. 2 beefs. At least your digital render looks nice. Of course. Phenomaman. Phenomaman is amazing. From every interaction,
I now believe that you had nothing to do with our breakup.
to the fact that he's not this guy,
Are you sure?
to his love of Magic the Gathering. But just like Phenomaman, I can't pretend the results of this final figure aren't completely depressing. All of the designs went perfectly well. Even the printing on the body went alright. Then we got to the head. This was print 1. On the back was print 2. And this was print 3. So I borrowed a head and hung my own head in shame. Still though, 2.5 beefs because the rest of the body turned out alright. And here's a purist version at least. But hey, even though some of the figures were a bit messy, we got the full SDN roster in here. And a lot of them actually turned out really well. You did it. You survived till the end of the video. Fun fact, I'm filming this portion after doing most of the editing. It is now 7:30 a.m. Sunday. This video is supposed to be out 6 a.m. Saturday. I've been working this whole time. I'm very tired. I hope you enjoyed it. Despite my evil printer, I had a lot of fun. And hey, some of them did come out very, very well. So, as always, I've been Andrew, you've been watching the Scrapbox. Do all the YouTube things, like, comment, subscribe. I have to decide whether I'm gonna go sleep now or completely disassemble the UV printer. Bye.